Last night, I went out for a few drinks with my friends. And it got me thinking, just how much riding am I now going to have to do to burn off the drinks that I had? Well, before I tell you how much I drank, I took some stats from the NHS website about UK alcohol consumption. On average, it is recommended that an adult consumes no more than 14 units of alcohol per week, with the UK averaging 11.6. A pint of beer will have roughly 215 calories, a pint of cider around 210, and a cocktail about 185. But what about myself? Well, last night, being a Somerset man, I drank 3 pints of cider, totaling 630 calories, and a cocktail, so there's another 185 calories. In total, that's 8.4 units of alcohol in the cider and 3 in the cocktail, totaling 11.4, just under the weekly average and a grand total of 815 calories. Whilst at the pub last night, I may have had a bite to eat as well, but I'd eat every single night, so I'm not really going to take that into account, just the additional calories in the alcohol. Now here in the UK, the NHS recommend that an adult male consume around 2,500 calories per day and an adult female around 2,000 calories a day. So with the additional calories in the alcohol last night, I'm getting on towards half my caloric intake for the day. But what else makes up some of the calories in these drinks? Well, the large proportion of it is sadly sugar. The NHS recommend that an adult consumes no more than about 30 grams of sugar per day. But in my 3 pints and 1 cocktail, I worked out that there's roughly 59 grams. That's nearly double my recommended daily allowance. That's staggering. So with that alarming figure then, it's best I start this ride and get on with this experiment. To help with accuracy, I'll be using a power meter to help record and monitor the energy that I'm using, which we hooked up to my Garmin head unit. That way giving me an accurate display of the calories I'm burning in real time. Using the equation energy, measured in kilocalories, equals average power times duration, you can accurately work out how many calories you burn. This, of course, is all done though inside that clever little computer and shown to me whilst I ride. There are, of course, other massive variables that affect energy consumption. The weather. It is a horrible, cold, wet day today, so my body's having to work harder. Unlike our roadie friends as well, of course, I'm not going to be stomping on the pedals the whole time, so it's not going to be constantly recording my watts. However, my upper body is going to be working hard. Pushing, pumping, pulling, working the ground as us mountain bikers do. And last but not least, of course, is that our bodies just aren't as efficient as we'd like them to be. We're only burning about 1 in 4 joules of energy, with 3 of those being wasted as heat, just off into the atmosphere. In times of old, if you wanted to lose weight, you were told to count the calories. But times have changed. A healthy diet, exercise combined, all go a long way into what we burn off and the energy that we use. Laying off the drink might be another one here, but I think we can look further than that. Look at what's actually in the food and drink that we consume, and the pint is a great example of that. Think of the amount of sugar that's in that pint that I had. I'm gonna have to do a lot more riding to burn that off. Hang on, more riding? That doesn't sound so bad. Oh, it's gross out today.
Right, so we're just about to tick on to 150 calories burnt. That's bang on. 10 minutes and 2.5K. You'll see here, if I put an effort in, we're at 153. Those calories will go up quicker as the amount of power I put out increases, bumping up the average. There you go, look, 153, 159 straight away. Now you might be thinking, Rich, I haven't got a power meter, they're expensive. What should I do? How can I count my calories? Well, if you wear things like a smartwatch, and you'll notice if you use apps and stuff like that, that they will too give you a rough calorie burn estimate. But I should say, this is pretty vague at best. They'll use metrics like time ridden, distance, age, heart rate's a big one, weight, and give you a calculation of what you think you might have burnt. But this, well, it's not the most accurate way of doing it. It can sway either way pretty heftily. Let's have a little mash, there we go. Up out the pedals. Right now, average heart rate 149, currently at 142. Power up here, 470. Normalized power so far, 233. And just under half an hour in, 385 calories burnt. I'm back into the descent. That then is a full lap of the blue Verderers loop here at the Forest of Dean. I thought it was going to burn more. That's 413 calories, 9.4K we'll call it. And we are 33 minutes in. Right, with that, let's head over and hit some downhill runs, which means big climbs up. Big climbs up mean constant average high power. And let's see how that affects things. All right, that's the top, 570, straight into countdown. Whew. Oh, she's puddly. $660 calories, just shy of 13K, 50 minutes. Whew. Average heart rate, 148 for the ride. Normalized power, 234. It's a hefty ride, but it's a good one. We're back up to do another lap of countdown and launch pad. $7-11, back up we go. Here we go then. Boom. Woo. 815 calories burnt. I tell you what, it's minging here in the woods, so I'll see you back down the bottom. Woo. He's wet out there, flipping heck. Wetter than an otter's pocket, that. Flipping horrible. Right, let's get changed.
Why is this mud everywhere? How can it be this wet?
Right, back to the shed.
So So we're back in the shed, we're warmer, we're drier, and we are considerably cleaner after what was a pretty grim day on the bike. And to burn off then that 815 calories, well, I got some numbers for you here. I had to ride for a total time of 1 hour, 2 minutes 45, climbing 547 meters over a distance of 15.76k. I did a full loop of the blue there, plus 3 runs as well. Now, an average heart rate was 149 beats per minute, so it's a good average heart rate, but it's not up there in terms of XC territory, like an XC race or anything, but it's a really good ride. And here's the interesting one. Normalized power. So this is the power that I'm putting out, the average normalized power, I should say, only when the pedals actually are taking a power meter reading. That was 236 watts. The average power, so that's taking into account all the times when it's just reading 0, when it's reading 400, 200, whatever, it's just constantly taking a reading over the entire ride, was 191. So less, but that's the entirety of the ride, remember. Now, as we said before, more power, more calories being burnt. And for comparison, I've dug up some numbers here from when I did my 24-hour and finale challenge. Now, I rode 180 kilometers on that one, 16 hours or so of riding, and 127 watt average. Now, obviously, the longer the ride, the lower the average is going to be, because I'm not superhuman, it's just not sustainable to keep up such a high average for such a long time, so it will dip down. But in that one, I burnt 7,941 calories, a whopping amount. Just under 10 times the amount, but it wasn't 10 times the riding, because as we said, as the ride goes on, you become more tired, your body just can't carry up the same sort of consistency and state and speed at which it burns energy, so that rate just slowly drops. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Did you think it was going to take longer, shorter? Did you think it was going to be a more physical ride? I was quite keen. Some really insightful numbers there, and sort of quite insightful just how much it takes to burn off the calories and the sugar that is in one of these delightful pints right here. Let me know in the comments down below, and until next time, well, cheers.